Hello everyone and welcome to this session. Today I'm going to give you some important tips on filling up IIM Mumbai application form. Now for those of you who are not familiar with it, IIM Mumbai's name is listed on CAD application form, but then in order to become eligible for their interview call, you need to also fill up their application form from their portal also. So you need to do two things. One, you need to put a tick mark on IIM Mumbai while you were applying in CAD application form. And number two, you need to go to IIM Mumbai website and you need to purchase their application form and fill it up. So there are two steps involved out here. Now, in case of IIM Mumbai, it's very important that you people get an idea about what kind of programs they offer, what is the eligibility criteria for each of the programs, so that you can select the right kind of program for yourself. Keep in mind, all the programs of IIM Mumbai have got a single application form. So it's not that each program has a separate form. You will have a single application form, but you need to make up your mind as to which programs of IIM Mumbai are you interested in. So before I explain to you how exactly should you fill up IIM Mumbai application form, I'll first start off by giving you an idea about this great institution called IIM Mumbai. So let's get started with this. To begin with, IIM Mumbai is actually not a new IIM. Some people have this misconception that it's the 21st IIM of India, hence they believe it started only in 2023. That's not really true. IIM Mumbai earlier was known as NITI Mumbai. So the name of this college was NITI Mumbai, and this college is a pretty old college. It was established in the year 1963 and it has a very powerful lineage. This is a college that was established with assistance from United Nations Development Program and as well as International Labour Organization, ILO. So both of them helped out Government of India in creating this great institution called NITI. Then in 2023, the year 2023 is pretty important because in the year 2023, Government of India decided to upgrade NITI Mumbai as an IIM. So in 2023, the Parliament amended IIM Act and that's how IIM Mumbai got created. So technically speaking, it's just a year-old college. But if you think about it, as far as the B school itself is concerned, it is decades and decades old college. All right, so that's the lineage of IIM Mumbai. Now, when it comes to the programs that they offer, they have got three programs that they have got. The number one program, the first program is their MBA program. It's a regular MBA program that I would recommend to every single aspirant, management aspirant out there. So no matter what specialization you are interested in, you can opt for an MBA program of IIM Mumbai without any hesitation. But they also offer MBA in Sustainability Management. MBA Sustainability Management, this program is not really a regular MBA program. It's more sectoral in nature and only those students should go for this program who have got a desire, who have got an interest in making a career in those sectors that are good for environment. For example, if you want to make a career in renewable energy domain as such, then this is an excellent program to target. But apart from that, nowadays, multinational companies, they are also having a separate department in their organization for sustainability development or sustainability practices. This department would have managers who would keep an eye on the practices of that organization and see to it that there is no adverse impact on the environment at large. And the practices that are at play, they should be sustainable. So that is how this program was conceived to deliver as such. So go for it if you have a passion for it, otherwise you can skip it. Finally, they have another flagship program called MBA, Operations and Supply Chain Management. This program is perhaps one of the best programs that we have in India for those who desire to make a career in the field of operations management or supply chain management. In fact, for a very long time, NITI Mumbai used to offer PGD IIM. This is actually an extension of the same program, and the corporate world, multinational company gives a lot of respect to this program. So if you do have a passion to make a career for yourself in operations domain, do ensure you apply to this program without fail as such. So 3 distinct programs are offered by them. Now it's important, before you fill up the application form, it's important that you understand what is the eligibility criteria for each of these programs, so that even though you may not be eligible and if you unfortunately end up applying for a program, you may be disappointed. So it makes sense to understand what is the eligibility criteria for each of these programs. So let's start with MBA and MBA Sustainability Management Program. For these 2 programs, the eligibility criteria is pretty simple. Every single graduate and every single final year graduation student who has got more than or at least 50% marks in graduation, if you belong to general category, EWS category or OBC/NC category. In case you belong to SC, ST or differently abled, then the required percentage would come down to 45%. So as long as you are meeting these percentage requirement, you are eligible to apply for these 2 programs. So point I'm trying to make here is, it's not just engineers can apply for these 2 programs, but even non-engineers, people who have done BCom, BBA, BA, BSc, every single one of you who have got these required percentage values in graduation, you are eligible to apply for these 2 programs. But having said that, do keep in mind what I mentioned earlier when I was speaking about MBA Sustainability Management. That's a sectoral program that's not meant for everybody. So if you do have a passion in that domain, then do apply for both the programs. MBA, there is no such prerequisite. Anybody and everybody can apply for MBA program, irrespective of what your career goals are. Now let's talk about the 3rd program that they have, MBA Operations and Supply Chain Management Program. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to be cautious when you choose this program because it has got a prerequisite. What is a prerequisite? See, first and foremost, people who have done their engineering program, they are eligible for this particular program. Now, who are not eligible, let me make that also very clear. People who have done 3-year degree programs. What do I mean by 3-year degree programs? People who have done BBA, BSc, 3-year BSc, 3-year BA, 3-year BCom, they are not eligible to apply for this program. Only those who have done their engineering program, and if you belong to general category, EWS category or OBC/NC category, then you need to have a minimum marks of 50%. People who belong to SC, ST or differently abled, they need to have 45% marks in their graduation. So engineers are eligible. But it's not just engineers who are eligible. Some additional category of applicants can also aspire to join this program. Now, which are those aspirants? To start with, people who have done their MSc in mathematics. So if you have done Master of Sciences in Mathematics, you are eligible for this program. Again, the prerequisite percentage values will remain the same. Apart from that, people who have done their MSc in Statistics, they are also eligible. Apart from that, some students, they pursue dual degree programs. So if you have done a dual degree with maths and computing, but remember this dual degree duration should be minimum of 5 years duration, then you are eligible for this program. Last but not the least, people who have done their engineering, BS or a BTech program, but in economics. But again, the duration should be minimum 4 years, not 3 years, minimum 4 years. Then also you are eligible to apply for this program. So if you meet the eligibility criteria that I have mentioned, and on top of that, if you have a passion, if you have a desire, or if you have a career goal of making a career in the field of operations management, supply chain management, then surely consider applying for this also, because trust me, this is one of the best programs that we have in India as such. Now that we have sorted out any confusion that you might have about eligibility criteria of these programs and the kind of career path you would get once you pursue these programs, I'm sure you would be capable enough of deciding for yourself which of these programs are suitable for you. Alright, moving on. Now, let's talk about the application cost. When you fill up their application form, how much money you need to pay. See, people who belong to SC, ST or differently abled categories, they need to pay 1,000 rupees for this application form. Everybody else, that means general category, EWS category, OBC, NC category applicants, they need to pay 2,000 rupees for this application form. So before you fill up the application form and complete the process, make sure you get these funds ready, and this amount can be paid online. There will be various options that will be available. You can take one of the options, choose one of the options, whether it's a debit card or credit card or UPI, and you can make your payment. Now, some important dates that you people need to be aware of. See, the application form is already available, but this point is very important. Check the last date for application. So, the last date for application, boys and girls, would be 31st of January 2025. Now, why is this date important? Why is this date crucial? See, one interesting observation is, by then your CAT results would be out. In fact, much before that, your CAT results will be out, and you people can decide whether you should apply for this college or not based on your performance in CAT. So, some of you who may have a little bit of budgetary constraints, or some of you who after having written CAT, you are not very confident what percentile you will eventually end up with, you can hold on to your horses and wait for your CAT results, and depending on your performance, you can decide whether you should be applying for IIM Mumbai or not later on. So the good thing is they have kept the last date as 31st of Jan. That way you are not under any kind of compulsion to apply to them right away. You can wait for your CAT results and then make up your mind whether you should apply or not. You can also get in touch with the faculty members at time to take advice in this regard. Let's continue. Now, let's talk about the steps involved in filling up the application form of IIM Mumbai. Friends, the first step would be to register on their website. So, if you are the first time user of their website, you need to go to IIM Mumbai website and you need to register on their website by giving some very basic information. What is that basic information they'll ask? I'll share it with you after some time. So once you do that, then the username and password will get generated and it will be shared with you through email. And then using those login credentials, you can actually access your application form. You can fill up your application form. So remember, filling up this application form would be a two-steps process. And of course, the third step would also be there. So the third step that I'm talking about refers to the payment part. Actually, it's a two-step process. Application could be considered, payment should be considered as part of the application form. But even if you consider it as a separate step also, it's a three-step process that you will have to undertake while filling up the application form of IIM Mumbai. Now, let me share with you a screenshot of the kind of questions they'll ask you when you are registering on their website. Now, this is the screenshot. Now, here they would ask some basic information. To start with, they'll ask you that which programs you are interested in. Remember, you can select a single program or you can select all the three programs or any of the two programs as per your choice and eligibility criteria that I shared with you earlier. So first and foremost, as you can see, they have a checkbox. For example, you are interested in MBA, you'll put a checkbox, you'll put a tick mark here. So like this, you will choose which programs you are interested in applying to. The cost doesn't change depending on how many programs you choose. They have one single application form. So based on your interest, you can choose as to which programs you would like to apply for. Then if you observe here, they would start by asking your CAT 2024 registration number. Now, what exactly do they mean when they say registration number? See, if you have a look at your admit card, now that CAT has been conducted, if you have a look at your admit card, it would clearly mention your registration number, application number. So that number needs to be entered out here. Then you need to mention your name. Make sure you enter your name exactly the way it appears in your 10th class memo, 10th class certificate, exactly in the same manner with the same spelling. You need to enter the name in their application form as such. Then they would ask your email ID because all the communication would happen through email. The username and password that gets generated would be shared through your email. That's the reason you need to be very careful when you enter your email ID. Make sure that whatever email ID you use, make sure you do have access to it for the next coming 7-8 months at least, so that you can get to know any kind of update that they want to share with you. Then they'll ask for your mobile number. Again, the mobile number that you enter out here becomes very crucial because sometimes some important updates may be shared with you through mobile. So make sure you mention your mobile number carefully. Then they'll ask for the gender. 3 options will be available in this drop-down list. In this drop-down list for gender, they will say male, female and transgender. You can select whatever is applicable for you. Then they will ask for the category. What do we mean by this category? It means reservation category. Do you belong to OBC NC category, EWS category, SC, ST or general category? That information would be asked. So please do ensure you select this category carefully, because once you select it, you won't be able to change it again. Then the question will be asked whether you are a differently abled applicant or not. PWD basically means differently abled. Yes or no options are there. By default, it will be on no. If you are differently abled, then you will change it to yes. So these are the details they will ask. And then of course, CAPTCHA would be there. Fill up the CAPTCHA and then you can register. So once you click on this register, then the OTP gets generated. That OTP is generally sent to your inbox. Right, so that they can verify your email. Then you can fill in the OTP in the pop-up that comes up. Once you do that, that's when the registration process gets completed. Once it is completed, you will get a pop-up message like this. As you can see, it clearly says, registration successful. Please check email for the credentials. What do we mean by credentials here? Here the credentials refer to your username and your password. So the good thing is they are sending the credentials through email. So just in case after some time, God forbid, you forget what is the username, what is the password, it will be comfortably there in your inbox. Please do ensure, my suggestion for you is, do ensure in the next coming few months, do not delete your inbox. Some of us have a habit of constantly deleting old emails. Don't do that. And also ensure that your inbox should not be completely filled up, because once that happens, automatically some emails, older emails gets deleted. So do ensure that you don't delete emails, because some of the emails would have very vital information, useful information that you can use later on. So with this, we have successfully registered on their website. We have not yet filled up the application form, but the first step of registration on their website has been successfully done. Now we move on to the second step. Now the second step would be to proceed with the application form. So this kind of the screen would be shown to you. Here the names of the programs that you have applied would be shown. Because I chose only MBA is being shown. If you select all the 3 programs, all the 3 programs will be there. But remember, there will be a single form and they would say, proceed to fill up the application form. So that button you need to click in order to access the application form. So once you click this button, that's when the application form will open up. This is the information that they'll ask in the application form. To start with, they will begin by asking you your personal information. What do I mean by personal information? Your name will be asked. Yeah, you may say, come on, I already filled up the name. But here, they would also ask you to mention what is your surname, what's your first name, what's your middle name. That information would be asked. Then your parents' name would also be asked. Father's name, mother's name need to be filled up. And then date of birth. Now, I am sure some of the people who are watching this video, you may have 2 date of births. One actual date of birth and one official date of birth. Remember, you need to fill up the official date of birth. The date of birth that is there in your certificates, that's the date of birth you need to opt for. Then the address will be asked. Permanent address will be asked. You will write in the permanent address. Current address and permanent address, if they are same, of course, the same will get generated in both the places. They will also ask if you belong to minority community. In case it's applicable, in case you do belong to a minority community, then the drop-down list will come wherein all the different communities, minority communities names will come up. You can choose whichever is applicable. If you don't belong to minority community, then it's optional, you can leave that. Then parents' annual income will also be asked. So in case you are not aware of this information, you can seek that information from your parents and you can fill it up. Then you need to upload your photograph and upload your signature the way usually we do in various application forms. You must have done the same thing in CAT also. Some students have told me that they were finding it difficult to do that because of the specified length of the photograph, size of the photograph being on the lower side. Not a problem. If your photograph exceeds the limit that they have set on their website, not a problem. You can simply go to Google and you can resize your photograph, right? There are so many tools available online to do that. But make sure you do that. You resize your photograph as per the requirement and you can upload it. Same holds true for signature also. Then they would move on to qualification details. Here your academic qualification details will be sought. Do fill them up very carefully. So they will ask for your 10th class details. For example, they'll ask for name of the board from where you have pursued the program. Then they will ask the place where you studied, name of your college, in which year did you complete your 10th class, what was the marks that you obtained, what were the total marks, what was your percentage of marks. All these details will be asked as such. Try and follow the same convention that you followed while filling up CAT application form. Same thing will happen while filling up the details for HSC or 12th standard. Then you will move on to the graduation details. Again, same kind of information that you might have filled up in CAT application form will be sought. Same thing will be sought for post-graduation if it is applicable. I'm not investing too much time here, because I am assuming you have already filled up CAT application form, you are already well versed with the process of filling up these details. Then we move on to work experience details. Here I would like to take a couple of minutes because what you filled up in CAT application form was very brief information, whereas in this application form, they are asking for more details. Keep in mind, whatever information you mention here, this information will be available with the IIM Mumbai professors when they conduct interviews. So if you are lucky enough, you get an interview call from IIM Mumbai, you are sitting across the table from the professors. Professors would have access to this application form of yours, and whatever details you enter here, that can lead to questions. So that's the reason they are asking additional information. Information like name of your company, and more importantly, what was your designation and what was your job profile. Now, designation would be mentioned in your employment certificate. You can use it from there. But then job profile essentially means what is the role, what are the responsibilities that you undertake at workplace. Briefly mention it, because if an interviewer gives a glance onto that, he or she would get an idea as to what kind of questions they can ask you. Then they would ask you information about your company. What was the turnover of your company? Now, if you are not sure of what the turnover is, you can either visit the website of your company and try to figure it out. Even if there you don't find the relevant information, then you can also approach your higher ups and you can seek that information. Then your monthly income is being asked. Remember, this is monthly income. They are not asking per annum. They are asking you monthly, what's the income? What's the gross salary that you have got? Then, are you currently working or did you resign will be asked. And then, of course, dates of employment would also be asked. When did you begin working in that company and when did you leave in case you left? Now, this information can be entered for multiple companies, because some of the people who are watching this video, you might have worked in 2 companies or more than 2 companies. So that option of filling up multiple companies is available. Now comes the interesting part of the application form where you need to be very careful. They will ask for extracurricular details. So far they have taken curricular details. So far they have taken academic qualification details. Now they are going beyond that. So what questions would they have? First and foremost, they are asking you special academic achievements. Now, what do we mean by special academic achievements? See, while studying in your school or while studying in your college, whether it's your graduation college, or maybe some of you may be postgraduates, post-graduation college, whatever achievements you had, those achievements can be mentioned here. Now, what kind of achievements am I talking about? For instance, you might have got a very good rank in school or college, or you might have made it to the dean's list of bright candidates, or you might have won some silver medal or a gold medal for your performance in academics. All this kind of information you are going to mention out here. Now, don't go into details, briefly mention them so that in case you have got multiple achievements, more information can be mentioned, because remember, the character limit is only 1500. Remember, it's not word limit, it is character limit. What is meaning of character limit? Every character that you enter, it will be counted as 1. So if you write the word and, it will be counted as 3 characters. So that is why the word limit is not very high. So briefly mention this information. Then they will ask for extracurricular activities or hobbies that you might have undertaken. Now, what do we mean by extracurricular activities? Curricular activities refers to your academic activities, but whatever you have done beyond academics, that is counted as extracurricular. For instance, some of you may be into sports, some of you may be singers, some of you may be dancers. All those activities that you have taken up can be mentioned out here. Some of you may have interesting hobbies. All those hobbies of yours can also be mentioned very briefly. Again, don't go into the depths of it. Briefly, you can mention your hobby. People ask me, sir, what about details? Then when do I share the details? You can share the details in interviews. So if you have mentioned any particular hobby, if the interviewer is interested in knowing more, they will ask you questions in interviews. Then we move on to summer internship details. Now, this summer internship details may not be applicable for every single one of you. In fact, most of the programs nowadays do have the concept of internship, where you get experience or exposure about how corporate world functions. So if you are lucky enough to have done an internship, then do mention that information out here. Now, what information can you mention about your internship? Where did you do it? When did you do it? What was this internship all about? Right? And what was the outcome from that internship? That information can be mentioned out here. In case you have not done any internship, then obviously you are going to leave it blank. Some people get scared when they don't have any internship. There's no need to get scared. It's not a deal breaker at all. Finally, you need to enter your final year project. Again, undergraduate project that you might have done. Again, if you have done a program where a project was there in your curriculum, then do mention the details. Again, when did you do this final year project? It was a dummy project, or it was a live project. If it was a live project, it was done for which company? What was the project all about? What was the outcome? Briefly, you can mention it. Again, not in detail. Briefly, you can mention it. So these are the details that you need to fill up in their application form. The last step after this would be the payment. Payment can be done very conveniently because there are a lot of options that they are offering, and very safely you'll be able to make the payment. Once the payment has been completed, that's when you get a message saying that you have completed the entire process. Now remember friends, last but the most important advice, when you have filled up these details, before you hit the submit button, please verify whether there are any spelling mistakes, whether there are any grammatical mistakes. So I would recommend you download Grammarly. That would be a very good tool to use to check you up for grammatical errors or spelling mistakes. Please do check them out, because it will be a little embarrassing if you commit those mistakes while filling up the application form. Because mind you, once you have submitted it and if you get an interview call, that form will be available with the interviewers on the day of interview. Now, based on this, I've got one last suggestion for you. Make it a habit. Whenever you fill up any application form of any business school, do take screenshots of what you have filled up, or if the provision is there to download the application form, download it. Some application forms will give you that option of downloading it. So download it, keep a copy of whatever answers you have written with you. If it's not there, then at least take a screenshot and take printouts of it and keep it safely with you. Because what would happen here is you will end up filling many application forms and you will write so many answers. So before you go for the interview for that business school, it's a good habit to take out a copy of that application form and just glance as to what were the answers that you have written in that application form, so that you can be better prepared to face the interview. So these are certain things that I wanted to convey about this application form. I hope this content will help you in filling up the application form properly. Now, if you like the content, do hit the like button and do share it with your friends also, who may also be interested in applying for IIM Mumbai, and do subscribe to our channel, because we will regularly upload these kind of videos on our channel. Thank you everyone for watching this video.